Can BYU, led by superstar A.J. DePanza, break out of that slump where they've lost 3 out of 4 games tonight in Cincinnati?
This is Locked On Bets, the daily betting show that means business from the Locked On Podcast Network. Hosted by Lee Sterling and Kevin Rogers, they're dropping fearless picks with an inside edge to put money in your pocket. If there's action, they've got the lock. This is where smart bets start. It's Locked On Bets.
Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Locked On Bets. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with you. And as always, we appreciate you making Locked On Bets your first listen of the day here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And we have several college basketball games to hit on today, as well as a late night NHL contest. So we begin in the Big 12 with our college basketball blowout special.
Oh boy. Last one out, turn off the lights. This one's a blowout.
So earlier in Big 12 play, Cincinnati was going downward and BYU was going upward. But now that we've reached March, they're even. They're both 8-8 in the conference. BYU is 5-1 inside the league, and they have fallen apart of late. Meanwhile, Cincinnati, they look like they had no hope going into conference play, but they've been outstanding of late, winning 5 of their past 6 to reach 8-8 with 2 games to go. So, Lee, the Bearcats and the Cougars tonight, what do you like?
Yeah, so BYU at one point, I mean, there was some talk maybe this is a Final Four team. A.J. DePanza, I mean, he's a potential first pick in the NBA draft. Superstar. I mean, averaging 24.9 points per game, but no one's questioning his scoring ability. It's through the roof. But he's had to shoot the ball a whole lot more since their other, I thought, big weapon, Richie Saunders, was out for the season. Saunders, who averaged 18 points per game, is done for the year. Also averaged almost 6 rebounds and shot over 81% from the free throw line, which is important once you get into close games. You got a guard who's handling the ball. So it's been a big loss. Not many people talk about it a whole lot, but, you know, the ball's just not moving around. When you have to shoot in the last game, Spence had to shoot 28 times. You have to put up 28 times. Just not good. They're just not sharing the ball. The ball's not, you know, moving around as much. And what happens is they're stuck with 3, 4, 5 seconds to go on the shot clock, and DePanza has to end up, you know, chucking up a shot. On the other hand, Cincinnati, at one point, they were horrific. I mean, Wes Miller, they were talking about him probably being fired, and then all of a sudden they flipped the switch here. They moved the ball around. In fact, I think for the last 6 games, 4 different starters have led the team in scoring. The ball moves around really well here. And I just like the balanced scoring attack of Cincinnati. They've gained confidence here and playing at home here. I think they're going to get the job done here. I like Cincinnati. Lay the small spot here. We're going to go the Cincinnati Bearcats here to move ahead of BYU in Big 12 play. Blowout special, Cincinnati Bearcats over BYU.
And the other thing that Cincinnati was criticized about, Lee, was their lack of offense. In this stretch, since they scored 54 in back-to-back games against Houston and West Virginia. Remember, I had West Virginia that game on the show weeks ago. Cincinnati was up in that game. West Virginia rallied back to win. Since then, they scored 92 against UCF, 91 against K-State, 84 against Kansas in a win at Allen Fieldhouse, and 91 against Oklahoma State. So they've really busted out, and they're not playing these grinded-out games anymore, and they're going to have to score points against BYU tonight. But still looking forward to this game inside the Big 12. We'll see if Cincinnati can make some noise in the Big 12 tournament coming up next week. So last night on the show, or yesterday on the show, 1-2-1, and I'll take it first here. Yeah, I was off on NC State. Simple as that. I took the points with them. Duke's an absolute wagon right now. They just are rolling over everyone. I thought you have a little bit of a letdown after the Virginia win. You won the regular season championship in the ACC, but obviously it didn't matter to Duke. They just came out and played great again last night. So Duke, an easy winner over NC State. The one winner, though, the Clippers, late night over the banged up or whatever the Warriors are throwing out at this point. But the Clippers, a good road win over Golden State late last night.
Yeah, they look good. They came on and just warmed down, and Kawhi Leonard played, which obviously helped. But Warriors just a really bad team. I mean, there's no leadership on that team when when you're missing your leader, which Golden State is. It's not just scoring. He kind of keeps them together. Draymond Green is out of control. I think they got to cut him or get rid of him. 35. Certainly his skills have diminished, and also he's a big detriment to the team. So, that was a nice call. Incarnate Word should have covered easy instead of getting the push. They never trailed by more than 8 points the entire game. In fact, they led most of the second half, just got caught in the foul game. And when you get behind by 4, 5, 6 points in the last minute, a lot of teams, instead of going for the easy 2, they check up the 3, and that's what they had to do. So hard luck push there.
And in the Big 12 game, the late night game, Iowa State, after a couple good wins, just ran out of gas there. Arizona, another good home win there to beat the Cyclones.
Yeah, Iowa State just couldn't hit. I mean, just couldn't hit from anywhere. It wasn't like Arizona was playing well. Just one of those nights, nothing was falling inside, outside, and then you got to play defense, and they didn't do that either.
All right, let's now move to the NHL. We had no picks yesterday. Didn't really love anything in the NHL yesterday, but I like this one game late night out in San Jose. It's the Canadiens and the Sharks for our NHL Hidden Gem.
To find a diamond in the rough, you need to dig a little deeper for those hidden gems.
Montreal heading out west now for their California road trip, and it starts in San Jose. And the Sharks have won a couple in a row after they ended the pre-Olympic break on a bit of a slump. And we're going to take the Canadiens here in the first period, laying about 1:30 in the first period at San Jose this evening. Couple factoids for you. Number one, Montreal, the last 18 games, they have trailed after the first period 3 times. So they have either been tied or leading 15 times out of the past 18. Also in the stretch, this is important. This ties into San Jose. Montreal has allowed 1 goal or fewer 14 times during this 18-game stretch. So San Jose, since January 7th, Lee, 16 games they played. 4 times they've scored 3 goals or more. So they busted out in several of those games. Now, they led in all 4 of those games after the first period. In the other 12 games that they scored less than 3 goals, 0-4-8 in the first period. So it's either feast or famine. You score a bunch of goals or you just don't even lead. And they had a bit of a slow start against Winnipeg a few days ago. They ended up winning the game 2-1, but they were trailing 1-0 after the first. But I think here it says a lot. Montreal favored here on the road, and San Jose playing well at home, still an underdog. Let's take Montreal in the first period, laying the 130 against San Jose. And again, if you have a push, then you just get a refund. So you don't have to worry about necessarily winning the period if you're laying a half goal. So let's take Montreal minus the 130 as our NHL Hidden Gem.
Yeah, it seems like, Montreal, they're either going to be tied or leading in the first period. And if the worst case scenario in most cases is we get a push and it's like no bet, like kissing our sister, that's not the worst thing in the world. So just they're a better defensive team. It's not like they're playing a wide open team that will come out and take chances. Montreal's just not going to do that. So feel good about that with you also.
In 8 straight road games now, Montreal, they have scored a goal in the first period on the road. So that also is in our favor. So we'll see if they keep that up coming up tonight. So coming up, we will go to the SEC, Missouri and Oklahoma, and we will hit on that. The Sooners playing well of late. We'll see if they can keep that up against the Tigers, and we will go over that coming up next. You are listening to the Tuesday edition of Locked On Bets. Let's talk now about FanDuel, and guess what? We are in it for March. College basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every single night from early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts. There's always action on the board, and now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. So what's cool about this with these parlays, you could build them with any teams you want. Now we have a lot of the mid-major conferences getting their tournaments underway this week. Next week, you'll have the big boys going You have the ACC, the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the Big East, all of them playing next week. But you have a lot of tournaments coming up this week. You can mix spreads, totals, player props, and see how the whole thing can be put together. And it's all up to you. And you could find this with college basketball and an exciting few weeks coming up. Apply the profit boost and instantly bump up that potential payout. It's your parlay. It's your style now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game. We continue Locked On Bets here on a Tuesday. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. And now we head to the Southeastern Conference. It only matters more in that conference. Nobody else matters except for the SEC. That's what Feinbaum says. So let's go to our Tuesday night. Wrong team favorite.
What the
WTF.
Interesting matchup here between Missouri and Oklahoma meeting in Norman. And let's start with the Tigers first. They just rolled past Mississippi State. They just showed up on Saturday and dropped like a 50-point bomb on them in the first half and then cruised in that one to a road win. Now they're taking on Oklahoma, where the Sooners have been a disappointment, but playing better of late. They beat LSU over the weekend, and wins are wins. But Oklahoma is short favorite at home against Missouri. So, Lee, what do you like with the Tigers and the Sooners?
So let's first look at Missouri. 20-9 overall record, 10-6 in the SEC. I believe that they're in the tournament here, so they're playing for a better seeding. Don't want to play one of those, play-in games where the 11 seeds end up having to do battle on Tuesday or Wednesday before the tournament. So I think they want to get a little higher up, and I think they have a chance of doing it here. They're very consistent. And people think of them as, just a team that's good at home. Nope. They're also very good on the road, 6-4 record again on the road. They're 14-15 overall against the spread, which isn't great. But like I said, when you have a better spread record on the road, that kind of says something. I think that they're coming together here. Their offense ranked 47th. They move the ball around here. Their defense isn't great, but still ranked 77th here. So they did win the first game against Oklahoma in overtime. So some people will say, Oklahoma at home. That's maybe a side that I want to back here. But Oklahoma's 15-14 overall. They're 5-11 in the SEC. They beat LSU, but LSU has already lost their best player for the year. So they're relying their top scorer is Nigel Pack. Here's a guy that was in Miami for a couple of years. All he is a outside gunner. Can't really drive to the lane that much. I think it's like 24, 25 years old. Been around 7 years in college basketball. I know he scores 16 points per game, but he had a real good game in the last game. But I just don't see, after scoring 22 points, I know him. He's rarely one of these guys that has back-to-back good games. Just know his game well here. Also, their offense isn't horrific. They're 77th in the nation in offense, but it's the defense is what really hurts them. They give up almost 78 points per game. That's ranked 246 in the country. Can't get that big defensive stop here. And they're also 11-18 against the spread. Not a good spread team. It tells you that they've underperformed here. So I know Oklahoma's a small favorite here. I like Missouri. I think Missouri's really coming around here. Not saying they're going to win, make it to the Sweet 16, but this is a team that could win a game probably to start the tournament. And I just think that they're a more sound team and a better defensive team and do quite well on the road. Let's go the Missouri Tigers here. Wrong team favored. They knock off Oklahoma tonight in SEC action.
We had talked about, I think last week, Lee, when you had Missouri over Tennessee, they won as a home dog. That, I don't want to say that locked them up, but that put them in a really good position to be in the NCAA tournament, to have an at-large bid, and then obviously rolling past Mississippi State. 20-9 with 2 to go. Oklahoma on the road, and then Arkansas at home. That I got to believe that they are probably in, beating Tennessee, Vandy, Florida, Texas A&M on the road. I think that they're probably in when it's all said and done. And you beat Oklahoma tonight. I think you're definitely in. But if somehow they
also
slip up,
what's interesting about this game, when you look at these teams, I don't know if you do this also. These are two original Big 8 teams. So when you talk about them in the SEC, you don't think of Oklahoma in that region and Missouri as an SEC team. They are now, but they're rivals going back to the Big 8 days. In fact, used to see both play in the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma, obviously, a lot more, but I think Missouri might even play, and I saw them in the Orange Bowl once. So just interesting how these two teams, which were Big 8 stalwarts, are now SEC teams.
You mean like when you see UCLA and USC play a Big Ten game, and you're kind of like, what do you do? You're not in the Big Ten. It doesn't work that way. I understand that.
Right.
So with all of that now, Lee, we have so many conference tournaments beginning this week, and then obviously next week. So we have 2 weeks of conference tournaments, NHL, NBA, UFC over the weekend, Major League Baseball with spring training. So much going on with Paramount Sports. How can people get involved?
Well, the big special everyone wants right now is the March Madness special. And there's going to be games starting early tomorrow morning. Some of these smaller conferences, their conference tournament starts early tomorrow. So we're going to get going early. You want to join the action tonight. Looks like a really good card. Get every game from now through the fun final on Monday, April 4th. 5 weeks of action, just $197. Last year was $397. Not going to make it $297, $197. I want everyone to join, because I know if I win for you for the next 5 weeks, you're going to want to, continue with me for the NBA. You're going to want to check out my other sports like baseball, hockey, UFC, and then football. Before you know it, it's going to be right around the corner. So $197 special for March Madness. Check it out, ParamountSports.com, or call me here at the office. We can take your order over the phone, 800-400-9741.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Locked On Bets, as well as the podcast version you can find on Spotify or Apple. Type in Locked On Bets, and you'll be all set. For Lee Sterling, I am Kevin Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Tuesday edition of Locked On Bets right here on the Locked On Podcast Network.